And welcome back to the Houston Texans franchise rebuild. Here today, we have all three preseason highlight reel for you guys. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're all having a great day. Please leave a like, comment down below what you thought, and don't forget to subscribe. As this is right now the starting lineup entering into the preseason. As you guys can see, we have the same 5 starting offensive linemen. We have the same running backs, though, and receivers. The only difference right now is Tyler Higbee. Now, we did bring in some new players like Higbee, like drafting Richard Palmer here in the 3rd round, as well as bringing in Devin Duvernay at wide receiver. Right now, our major competition is at this 3rd receiver spot between Brandon Cooks, John Mitchie, and Duvernay, and we'll see who really stands out here in the preseason. I want to see if there's anyone who truly separates themselves. At the tight end position, before we get into any games, we will be trading away Brevin Jordan just to get a mid-round pick or something for him, or maybe even a backup quarterback. That's right now the biggest need of this team, as we brought in Matt Ryan as well as Andy Dalton. I don't know if either one of them will play well, so probably trading for a young quarterback or a veteran quarterback is probably smart. But on the defensive side of the ball is where a lot of changes did happen. We signed Nick Bosa to a 4-year massive contract, paying him north of $30 million a year. We traded up in the 1st round to draft Marcus Cook, the cornerback. And then with our other 1st round pick, we drafted David Elliott here. Overall, the defense has improved, and I'm hoping with the additions of Bosa, Cook, and Elliott, these 3 guys can continue to solidify this defense. So let's get into some preseason games. Got to make a quick trade here, and then we'll get into some highlights. As a deal has been done here, we have traded Brevin Jordan to the Las Vegas Raiders for their 4 and 6 this year, as we're giving them Jordan and a 5th round pick. I feel like this trade is very fair. I wanted to get their 4th round pick, and I wanted also a later round pick, so we throw in a 5. I think this is very trade for Jordan, who will be their number 2 tight end behind Darren Waller. And welcome to Washington, Seattle. Here, the first preseason game is the Houston Texans versus the Seattle Seahawks. I don't really know too many moves that Seattle has made. I know they brought in a lot of offensive talent. They have Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback. I know they drafted a rookie later on in the draft. But for the Houston Texans, we brought in Nick Bosa. We brought in Tyler Higbee and plenty of other young talent to help out this defense. Overall, we improved one of our strengths of the on the side of the ball, which was our defense, and we added more role players to the offense to hopefully help Mason Pryor out the most. This is a massive year for Pryor. He has a top tier wide receiver. He has weapons on every single level. Can he do anything with them? Let's get into preseason of the new season. Entering into year 3 here in the Houston Texans franchise rebuild. And here comes Mason Pryor, number 15, the new captain of his offense. 77 overall, played 5 games in his rookie year, including a playoff game where he lost to the Kansas City Chiefs 30-27 overtime. It's a brand new season. He has new targets, he has new weapons. Let's see how he can utilize them. Pryor will start in this ball game at his own 19-yard line in the shotgun with a bunch formation, starting with a pass here, feeling the rush here, and he's immediately going to be brought down. And that is Yannick Ngakoue, the big-time pass rusher that Seattle brought in. And that is not the start you want to see if you're Houston. Well, taking a sack there on 1st down, making it 2nd down and 24. Here's Pryor to the error, looks to throw. He's going to get Tyler Higbee involved, the veteran tight end. Gets 7. It's 3rd down and long here for Pryor. He needs to get 17 plus yards here. Looks to throw, and he's going to feel more pressure, and he's going to be sacked again. This pass rush here for Seattle has improved. And that is Andre Diller who's letting out these sacks right now, and that's not good for Diller. And here comes the veteran quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, leading out his Seattle offense, as Seattle has not drafted a rookie quarterback at all in these last few off seasons. He has a lot of weapons here. Let's see how he can utilize them. I believe they brought in Mike Evans to solidify this receiving core, and this team is very good. Here's Bridgewater, looks to throw here. Plenty of time, and this pass was batted away as Linovich is hurt. 2nd down and 10 here for Bridgewater. He's already in Houston territory, trying to take the early advantage. Here's DK Metcalf with a reception. 3rd down and 8 here for Seattle as they're trying to get some points here. Looks to throw as Bridgewater settles underneath here, and that's Mike Evans, their newest addition. 4th down, though, as it's 3rd down and 5 here for Pryor. Needs this conversion. Takes the snap, looks to throw here. Going to eat down the field here. Tyler Higbee, the veteran tight end, reels it in here. Touchdown, Houston. 2nd 2-year contract was given to Tyler Higbee, coming over from LA Rams, and he'll find the first score here in the preseason games. Well, 1 corner in the books here. Andy Dalton, or Matt Ryan, excuse me, is in at quarterback. 1st down and goal here at the 5. Ryan takes the snap, looks to throw now, not liking anything, and he throws it away. The ex-Colt is out there trying to give himself an opportunity for a job here. Can he find the end zone on this drive right now? These will not be all the players that we keep out there, though. Here's Ryan, looks to throw, zipping it to Palmer here, then the rookie tight end will reel it in. Touchdown, Houston, as Matt Ryan trying to make something out of the late stages of his career. And here in the first preseason game, the Houston Texans will be beating the Seattle Seahawks 42-21 in a complete blowout in the 2nd quarter where we put up 28 points. We looked very good. Matt Ryan actually looked very well out there. Our defensive line, our 2 young edge rushers looked very well. Both Steven Dalton as well as Carl Brooks provided a lot of rush. David Elliott got a big time sack. John Mitchie, in my opinion, stand out a lot in this ball game. I'm sorry that I didn't do all the commentary throughout this entire ball game. Not every single one of these games I'm going to be commentating throughout all of it, so you guys will just see the highlights of the game. But overall, very fun game. You know, we got the victory, massive victory as well. You know, we got to see a lot of good players make some good plays for the team. I do think that Matt Ryan really handled the offense very well, even though he threw 2 interceptions. Andy Dalton looked okay. Mason Pryor looked the best out of the 3, of course. Josh Cole found the end zone twice. Same with Manny Oliver, 2 undrafted running backs from a year ago. Devin Duvernay led us with receptions, but I would sit here and say the standout player was John Mitchie, who had those 2 big catches for the offense. Overall, team looked good. Happy with the performance here in week 1. Let's get into preseason week 2. And welcome back as the Houston Texans here in the week 2 preseason game will be playing against the Green Bay Packers. In the first preseason matchup, the Houston Texans got to see a lot of the depth. Matt Ryan looked particularly good. Looking to get any more standouts for the roster right now. We did bring in some more undrafted free agents to help out the team, just to bring in some more quality depth. Overall, first preseason game went very well. Here in week 2, let's go see what we can do to see more of this youth of this roster. Well, a big talking point this year is going to be on number 15, and really, how is he going to play? How is he going to take this offense to the next level? As they're on this first carry here for Pierce, it's a good 15 yards due to a holding call to come back. But Mason Pryor is going to be the main talking point this year. You know, over the first 2 seasons of this franchise, we've seen overall, Davis Mills looked pretty solid, and I know he has had his turnovers and everything like that, but we need to see what Mason Pryor really can do for the offense. Can he take it to the next level? You know, he was very close versus the Chiefs team in the postseason game, so hopefully, you know, as we enter here into his second year and year 3 of this franchise, that he can take the offense to the next level. You know, we need to see more, I think, from players like Tyler Higbee as well as Brandon Cooks, you know, and this offensive line, they need to step up here as Frank Clark just got a big time sack here. We'll go for it here on 4th down. It's preseason football, I don't really kind of care. But we need to see more from not just from Nico Collins and Paul Wilkerson. You know, we know these two guys will eat and make plays, same with Dameon Pierce, but we need someone else, as I really did not decide to push the football deep down the field. When we flip it over to the defense, you know, of course, we need to see this pass rush take the next step here. You know, we brought in David Elliott, Nick Bosa, we added players to the secondary, and, you know, I still think our secondaries actually become the weakness of this defense, you know, as yes, we have Marcus Cook, who we drafted 3rd overall. We have Derek Stingley, who's now entering into year 3, but Stingley had a quiet year last year. But now with the addition of Bosa, really, how does this defense take the next necessary step? Obviously, you know, I'm hoping that this defense can make some plays and really help out this team. You know, I do think that we have a very good front 7, you know, players like Rashad Evans, but Rashad Evans last year really took a step back, you know, over halfway through the year. So hopefully Evans can, you know, continue to play well. And if he slows down, we have Roman Nova in waiting in the ranks here. As this pass goes over the middle here, and now Green Bay has goal to go here. 1st down and goal now, as Green Bay is trying to take the first lead here in the preseason. And I believe this is Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback. They don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore. He retired, as Hakeem Hicks makes a good play as Bubby Johnson is dealing with injuries. That is one thing. I did decide to turn down the injury slider, not significantly. I have it over 50%. You know, there's just way too many injuries, or just players just going down and then just not dealing with significant injuries. Don't get me wrong, I want injuries to be playing a factor in this franchise, but I don't want it to be on every play that there's a new injury. As we saw Chase Linovich getting some good pass rush right there. As Green Bay will take a 3-0 lead here in the second preseason game. You know, really in this game, I want to see what Andy Dalton can provide as a backup quarterback. That's one of the bigger question marks. I want to see who can stand out as the 3rd receiver between John Minchie and Devin Duvernay. Because ultimately, Brandon Cooks, you know, he's 30 years old. He's entering the last year of his deal. Most likely will not stay on this roster at the end of this year due to cap reasons and due to his age. So I need to see one of these younger wide receivers really stand out, because, you know, we need someone, and I'm hoping that one of them will. But of course, it's all up to Mason Pryor and this offensive line. And, you know, Dameon Pierce has quietly slowed down to be a focal point of this offense. I think it's become much more of Nico Collins as well as Paul Wilkerson. So, you know, with this passing game stepping up, can it lead us to victory, as this pass over the middle goes to Collins. Pryor in the shotgun here, empty look now, takes the snap, looks to throw here, zips it to the outside here for Collins. It's off the mark. I will be doing some more commentary in terms of the backups, just to get you guys hearing some of these players' names. Pretty much once the backups go in. For now, I'm gonna see if there's any big plays here for the number 1 offense. You know, overall, not a lot that I really need to see from this team. It's just, you know, can the offensive line hold up, and can I not throw those bad interceptions? And here at the beginning of the second half, we are seeing the number 2 offense and defense now entering into the field. Some notable names to kind of keep your eyes out on are definitely our 2 edge rushers, our second-year pass rushers, Stephen Dalton, as well as Carl Brooks. We drafted Lamb late in the draft class. We have Ford out there, and of course number 7, Roman Nova. Nova's right now trying to make really an impact here in the preseason, just to show a little bit of something in terms of potential starter this year, you know, just in case if what's his name, Rashad Evans, doesn't play well. You also see Steven Nelson out there, veteran slot corner. He's basically taking over the Desmond King role, where he's going to be our, you know, number 4 corner, going to play kind of wherever we need, as Stephen Dalton gets back there for a big time sack. But we're basically trying to see who's going to play potential roles on this defense, and Stephen Dalton, or not Stephen, Steven Nelson is going to be playing that role. But here's Carl Finley, the backup kick returner for right now. I actually really liked what he did in terms of returns last year, so hopefully he can do some stuff well. But here comes veteran quarterback Andy Dalton. I'm giving Dalton this second half here in the second preseason game with the number 2s to really kind of see what he can orchestrate. Carl Finley's the running back, second-year back we drafted in the 3rd round. John Mitchie, Devin Duvernay, and Brock Morgan, an undrafted rookie receiver who I like. I like a lot of his ratings. As we see Dalton moving around here, trying to get this ball to John, and that's off the mark. But overall, so far, like the first half from our number 1 offense. I know a couple turnovers happen, but that's okay. You know, turnovers will happen in this game with me especially. So here with the number 2 offense, just want to see what these receivers can do. Get Palmer involved, the rookie tight end. You know, overall, not too much. So let's go see what John Mitchie can do on the sideline. Can't reel it in. 4th down. We'll go for it here on 4th down and 7. Let's see what type of play we want to run. Maybe we just run slants. But, you know, Duvernay and John trying to really make that type of an impact. And, you know, Brock Morgan, who will target here. And Morgan reels it in. He's down the field. The undrafted rookie trying to make a name for himself. And he does it right there. 46 yards here. He has a lot of going for him. He has excellent short route running. He's an excellent slot receiver. Right now we're playing him on the outside for some reason. But hey, he just made a great play right there. And those are the type of plays that I need to see from one of these younger wide receivers, is who can really stand out. And of course, I'm thinking of keeping 2 quarterbacks on this roster. And, you know, it's either Matt Ryan or right now, you know, Andy Dalton. So Dalton's looking okay out there so far as a user. I prefer what's his name, Matt Ryan, but this pass will go to the end zone. Touchdown, Palmer, the rookie tight end who we traded up to go get. Richard Palmer, 3rd round pick this past campaign, 2nd touchdown of today's action. He's been very impressive. He's really looking good. I think we give him a year of development behind Tyler Higbee, and then he should be ready to be a full-time contributor in his 2nd season. But you know what? Let's continue talking about this defense a little bit. You know, out here right now, we got our 2 backup safeties who we'll put in some more backups in the 4th quarter. But I want to give all these guys a quarter to play with, and I don't know who's in at quarterback for this Packers team, but he just ran for Tracy here. He just ran very well. But overall, you know, I want to see what Lamb can do. We drafted him in the 7th round. Nova, these younger linebackers who can really stand out potentially, because, you know, Rashad Evans, he's not getting any younger. He's entering into a contract year. And, you know, I don't know how much money I'm willing to just throw around anymore, especially due to the fact that we are going to be paying Nico Collins north of, you know, $20 million. As this run up the middle goes for 6 here. This is Horn. But this Packers team, they've improved massively. They actually have a very good defense. I'm very excited to see what they can do in the NFC. But I don't know about their offense, as their starting quarterback is Jimmy Garoppolo. As Tracy here will run again here for a fresh set of downs. think that one of these defenders can make a play here, as this will be a little draw. No play action fake. Dalton gets back there again. And this is one thing about these two young edge rushers. They can go get the quarterback. So this is one thing I'm not too worried about, is actually our depth at pass rush. It's really our depth in this terms of the secondary. You know, we don't have really the most veteran talent at the cornerback position. You know, our best corner is Derek Stingley, and of course the rookie we just drafted in Marcus Cook. But you know, corner is a very interesting spot, because I feel like if we lose one or two of these guys, we're gonna be in a tough position, as this field goal is missed here. It's wide left here by Variety. I have no idea who their kicker is, but we'll get to see this offense here go. We get to see their offense. Dalton, his second possession here. He's going to get the whole second half here. He'll go underneath here to Carl Finley. He's really trying to make a name for himself. I think Finley can become our number 2 running back, and I think he just needs one more year, maybe 2, but I think Finley has the ability to catch the football, to run the ball very productively. I'm hoping that he can get some things going, as Richard Palmer is dealing with an injury right now. And that's one thing we don't really want to see from Palmer, is injuries. As we did bring in Josh Oliver. We brought him back due to an injury to a second-year tight end that dealt with an injury last week. He was the only player who went down. So tight end is pretty thin right now. It's really only Oliver and Higbee if Richard cannot continue to play. This pass will go to the outside here. It's going to be intercepted. And this is going to go back the other way. This will be a pick 6 here for Green Bay, as they will be taking back the lead the late stages here in the third quarter. What a job here for Green Bay. And here in the second preseason action, the Texans will be beating the Green Bay Packers 28-19. And a very good, convincing win here by this Houston team. Offensively, you know, we had a bunch of turnovers, which is per usual, but our defense, our pass rush really showed up, which I'm very impressed with, very happy about that. Happy to see our 2 young edge rushers make some plays. Got to see Josh Oliver also make some plays too. In terms of Andy Dalton, yeah, 100%. Matt Ryan looks and feels a lot better as the backup quarterback. But overall, can't really complain either or. Looks solid. You know, Pryor didn't have a great first half. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Not a lot of completion percentage. You know, he felt a lot of rush. Our offensive line really did struggle. Dalton looked okay. He needs a lot of work. Overall, running game, solid, happy about it. Receiving, Richard Palmer stand out to me, as well as Brock Morgan. He continues to have an impressive preseason. Ben James, who we just brought in, another undrafted rookie, also stood out to me. The offensive line did struggle in the interior, which leads me a little bit of concern. But defensively, you know, Steven Dalton 3 sacks, Linovich 2.5 or 1.5. Same with Bosa. Akeem Hicks got his own. Deshaun Baxter, second-year off-ball linebacker, got an interception. So overall, very impressed with this second preseason game. In the third preseason, we'll see a lot more of the backups. So let's get right into it. And welcome to the third preseason game. It is the Houston Texans versus the Baltimore Ravens. We're gonna get to see a lot more backups here today in this third preseason action. I'm actually gonna be really resting, or benching, whatever you want to call it, mostly resting a lot of our key starters. So starting at quarterback will be Matt Ryan. We will be having Tony Pollard takes a lot of the snaps. We're going to see John Mitchie as well as Devin Duvernay take the 1 and 2 receiver role. There's not a lot of key starters, a lot of backups. I want to see the bottom half of this roster, who stands out and who doesn't, especially versus a Baltimore team that I believe just won the Super Bowl. So this is a massive test here. You know, we know how good this team is, and I want to see how our team can handle it. And here comes the veteran quarterback, Matt Ryan. He is going to be the starter this week. He's only going to get a quarter. I have 4 other quarterbacks to play, so I want to see Matt Ryan take a little bit of the starting role here. We'll see Tyler Huntley in the second quarter, Dalton in the third quarter, and then we have an undrafted rookie in the fourth quarter. So here in the first quarter here, it will be Matt Ryan with presumably most of our number 2s out there. But I really want to see what he can do against the number 1 defense. How is he going to handle everything? And how can some of these other players handle it? You know, Tony Pollard, if an injury does occur, can he handle being the lead back? One of these offensive linemen, can they handle being a starter? You know, overall, that's really what I'm looking for here in this third and final preseason game, is who can really kind of just play in a regular ball game. Because right now, these are the type of you know, situations where we would be in. So here's Ryan, and the pass is off the mark, off of 2 receivers' hands. And we'll go for it here on 4th down due to the fact that it is preseason, and I don't really care about the wins and losses. 4th down and 4 here. Ryan looks to throw, and he will get this ball to Duvernay against his formal team, and he gets the fresh set of downs. But overall, you know, so far the preseason has gone our way. We've won our first 2 games very impressively in the first game. And now in this one, can we just not have too many turnovers? As Ryan finds again Duvernay, who's been actually a very consistent target. I think he's been more of a consistent player than John Mitchie, who did have a good preseason week 1. But, you know, so one of these 2 guys has to really kind of step it into that role, and I do think it's going to be Duvernay. He has that speed, he has the route running, and he doesn't have that injury concern. But let's take a shot deep here with John Mitchie. Let's see if he can catch this ball. No, it's incomplete. I will be doing a commentary for each quarterback, for each drive, especially just to see what they can really do. I want to give each one a little bit of, you know, recognition here. As it's 3rd down and 2 here for Matt Ryan and his offense. Into the 3rd preseason game, he'll settle underneath. This is Richards, and he will be playing the entirety of this preseason game if he can stay healthy. He's dealing with a nagging injury right now. It's now a fresh set of downs. As it's a fresh set of downs here at the 22-yard line. Ryan takes the snap, looks to throw here, and let's look end zone here with Oliver, and it's off the mark. I think he was going up the field. As it will be 3rd down and 10 here for Matt Ryan, needing this conversion. Takes the snap, looks to throw, steps up at the pocket. He'll settle underneath here to Tony Pollard, trying to get that lost yardage back. 4th down and 1, we'll go for it. Well, it's 4th down and 1 here, and this is an excellent time to test out if Tony Pollard can get this. We're going to hand it off to Pollard. He makes a move, and he will find the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Excellent first possession here for this Houston offense. Happy to see that working out for us right now. Got to be able to see what Pollard can do as the number 2 runner. And here comes Lamar Jackson, the dual threat quarterback, and do it all for an offense. He can throw, he can run, get the ball deep down the field. I don't know how our backup defense will handle him, but hopefully we can do a pretty productive job. Overall, we're not really starting any key players, I don't believe. I think the only 2 players that are important is Deshaun Elliott as well as Marcus Cooks, who are our 2 first-round picks from this past campaign. And Lamar bounces out already running the football. And we also have Peppers out there, wanting to see him a little bit more. I'll probably take him out after this possession here. Don't want any injuries here, but this is a good play there by Nova. And Roman Nova here, he has an opportunity, like I keep saying. He has an opportunity to really show up here. Lopez right now, he's entering into his 4th year. He's trying to even make the roster. A lot of these players are trying to make the roster, and Baxter, who had the interception last week, he continues to impress me. He really does, as that potential solid linebacker, and that's a good open field tackle. 4th down. And here comes Tyler Huntley. He's a 3rd-year quarterback, ex-Baltimore Raven. And he is right now getting his first preseason action here today. I'm going to be seeing here in the second quarter how many drives he can put together for the offense. You know, Huntley is right now, he was our 3rd-string quarterback last year. Brought him in here to be that kind of dynamic number 2 quarterback. Haven't seen too much of him now in this preseason. action. So having 6 minutes, how much can I really decide on with him? A lot, really. You know, I need to see if he can throw the football a lot. You know, that's one thing that always kind of led me to concern, was his accuracy ratings, and that's just me making a poor decision. But it will be 3rd down and 4 here for Huntley. You know, he needs to get this conversion. We'll go to a bunch formation here, try to get this ball to Morgan Brock here, as Brock did not beat his corner. But we'll get this ball to John Mitchie here, and Mitchie making a good play here. And he gets the first set of downs and more. In reality, Tyler Huntley is right now trying to battle to just be the 3rd string quarterback right now. And if he can show anything in terms of anything, and you know, right now he's looking good here, even against this formal team here, and he will reach out for the football, gain a 34, and what a job there by number 2. That's an impressive play in of itself. As we'll bring out the jumbo package here, we'll do a little pitch here to Josh Cole here, breaks the tackle here, the undrafted second-year running back makes a big-time rushing touchdown. He has looked excellent in the red zone. He is an intriguing playmaker for this team. Very intrigued by Josh Cole. You know, he was our 4th running back last year, got a little bit of playing time, and he makes another good preseason games, making the most out of his opportunities. And here comes Andy Dalton, the veteran quarterback. He's gonna get his appearance and his spotlight right now. Right now playing with a lot more backups in. Still the same receivers, same tight end. Carl Finley's the back. Just a couple different offensive linemen. Like I said, I'm trying to give each of these quarterbacks a little bit of just an opportunity, just to see what they can do. Can they go down the field, put up a good scoring drive or not? You know, John Mitchie here with a big-time reception for a good 22 yards. Overall, so far in the 3rd preseason game, we've been looking pretty good. Tyler Huntley looked excellent, even in the 6 minutes that he got. Really, actually was very impressed with Huntley. As we're going to take a deep shot here with Duvernay, and Duvernay drops that pass. But overall, you know, right now, I would say the standout in this ball game actually is Tyler Huntley. He has 3 carries for 60 yards rushing. He passed the ball fairly well. Overall, very happy so far. As we're going to be facing a 3rd down and 7 here, with the veteran quarterback Andy Dalton trying to stay on this roster here. 3rd down and 7. Takes the snap, looks to throw here. Trying to get this ball to John Mitchie on the sideline, and Mitchie can't reel it in. It's 4th down. We will go for it here. 4th down and 7 here. We'll see if he can make this play here. 4th down and 7. Dalton takes the snap, looks to throw now. Looking down the field, and he's going to be intercepted, and that is not good. That is what Dalton has been doing throughout his preseason games. That's Williams. I think that's Mike Williams with the INT. I actually don't know who that is. But Baltimore will have the football now, and they will try to tie up this ball game here. And in at quarterback is Ryan Devlin, an undrafted rookie who we picked up, trying to at least make the practice squad. I really don't know how good he's going to be, but he's out there here in the 4th quarter, last quarter here in the preseason. Takes the snap, looks to throw, looking deep down the field. Oh, off the mark. Ryan needs to be able to get that ball to his young tight end here, as it will be 3rd down and 9 here for Ryan. He needs to get this conversion. Looks to throw. Plenty of time going to the outside. This is Zach. That's Zach with the incompletion. He was the target receiver, another undrafted receiver. So far a good preseason game here in week 3. And oh, we're looking good out there. As this pass gets to John Mitchie. Excuse me. As like I was saying, we're looking good out there, against a Baltimore team that basically put their starters out throughout the whole game. So, and as we had basically only backups out there, putting up 35 points is very good for this team. Now it's 2nd down and 10 here. Ryan back to the aerial attack, and he just ball to John Mitchie, who's the most talented receiver out there besides our tight ends. But, overall, Ryan's looking okay. He's missed a couple passes. He's dropping back, looks to throw yet again here. Settle underneath now, and Josh Oliver. Penalty flag is thrown. This will be a penalty on Baltimore. 15 yards. Second down and goal here. Takes the snap, looks to throw as Ryan, trying to get anyone open, and again, sack fumble, and it's picked up by Baltimore. So I do have really the fourth string defense out there, seeing what they can do. You know, a lot of these players are role players to potential practice squad players. Hopefully, you know, versus their backup offense, you know, our defense can continue to shine here. Which, you know, only allowing 23 points to Lamar Jackson, and majority of the players out there were backups. We had a few starters, but overall, very impressed here in the third preseason game. And here in the final preseason game, the Houston Texans will be beating the Baltimore Ravens 49-37 in a high-scoring affair. Getting to see a lot of the depth of this roster really shine. You know, against a Baltimore team that put out all their starters every single play, besides in the fourth quarter where, you know, they put out backups. But hey, we looked good. I know we had a few turnovers here and there, but overall, happy with the performance here in the third preseason game. A lot of decisions that need to be made after this ball game. You know, when we look at the quarterback position, Matt Ryan did struggle a little bit, but I think he still played good. Dalton, he had a couple good drives. Tyler Huntley looked good out there. Ryan, the rookie out of Jackson State, or the second-year quarterback, excuse me, looked solid. Each quarterback besides Ryan threw a touchdown. Josh Cole led the way in carries, but Tony Pollard, he looks ready to rock and roll. Happy about that. Richard Palmer scored a touchdown. John Mitchell played well. Devin Duvernay scored twice. Overall, it was a very solid week for our offense. Only a few sacks allowed. Defensively, we got to the quarterback a couple times, Baxter and Willow, and no interceptions. Overall, solid third preseason game. And now there's a lot of decisions to be made to fill out this roster. Well, after a 3-0 preseason, you guys can see the rankings there. You know, our offense looks fantastic. Our offense is ready. Defensively, maybe not so, but we shall see. We do have 21 cuts to make, but first, let's go through some stats here just to see. Andy Dalton led us in passing yards. Matt Ryan was second. Mason was third. You know, we got to see Tyler Huntley play a little bit. He looks solid. Overall, quarterbacks, it's tough. I honestly think that you could really argue that either one would be fine as the backup quarterback. I'm still kind of debating in my own head. In terms of running, Josh Cole scored 4 times. He looked excellent out there. Tony Pollard looked good. Same with Carl Finley. So happy the back half of this running back depth is good. John Mitchell, he put up a lot of his production in the third preseason game. Brock Morgan, the undrafted rookie, played well. Richard Palmer scored 4 times as well. Duvernay scored twice. You know, got a lot of receivers involved. Every receiver at least had 1 reception, so happy about that. In terms of the offensive line play, no really standout player that really struggled. Just very good all around. And then defensively, Roman Nova led us in tackles. Behind him, Deshaun Baxter, Isaac Yadam, and Stephen Dalton led us with 5 sacks. So happy our young pass rusher is ready to go. Couple interceptions. Overall, got a few decisions to be made. So let's go bring this roster down to a 53-man roster. So I was able to put the roster down to the 53-man roster. Let's just go to releases here. So we did move off of Nick Scott, Willow, Eric Fisher, Benjamin St. Juice. Not a lot of really notable decisions to be moved off of. Same with Andy Dalton was cut. Some okay cuts. We did bring in 2 veterans here, Andre Phillips and Devontae Smith. They were both available, and I think these 2 guys will basically be our, you know, secondary, to help out the secondary and help out the offensive line a little bit. So yeah, this is going to be the roster entering into now year 3 of this franchise rebuild. Devontae Smith will not be a starter though. He's going to basically be our backup tackle with Justin Britt and AJ Can being the backup center and guard to the roster. I'm hoping that these three guys can really help out the team. Let me go put together the depth chart for you guys, so then you guys can have a clear cut picture. So this is the official starting lineup entering into year 3, second year for Mason Pryor. So Pryor's the starting quarterback. Behind him, we have both Matt Ryan and Tyler Huntley, sticking with the 3 quarterbacks this year. Ryan also has that mentorship tag, which I really like. Damian Pierce, Tony Pollard, the 2 backs. We are going to go with Brandon Cooks as the slot receiver for now. Unless he doesn't really get going early on, then we have both John Mitchie and Duvernay just in case. Brock Morgan did make the roster as an undrafted rookie. And this is the starting 5 offensive linemen here. So we have Justin Britt, AJ Kent, Devontae Smith, and Morgan Moses here, and Nate Hitchcock here as the 5 backups to the O-line. So hopefully we don't have to see too many of them. For the defense, we're going to go with Bubby Johnson as the starting outside linebacker instead of Nova. I think he's just better as a run stopper. Marcus Cook as well as Derek Stingley on the outside. Now Greedy Williams turns to the slot. I am going to put him in the slot. I think he can play better there. For now, Tim Settle will be our starting defensive tackle when we go to the base defense. Though, when we go to our specialist, David Elliott will be the starting defensive tackles. He's more of a pass rusher anyways, I feel. You know, he has a little bit more of a pass rushing moves than the other defensive tackles on the team. And I think he can handle that role. And right now, Roy Lopez will be the backup to Settle. Andre Phillips will be the backup strong safety just because he gets more opportunities to play. We do go into a lot of 3 safety sets. But that's going to be the team here entering into year 3. You know, we able to make this defense a lot better by bringing in Nick Bosa, Marcus Cooks, and offensively, we were able to bring in Tyler Higbee. You know, that's our biggest addition in terms of this offense. This offense really now has to take the next necessary step, and it's up to Mason Pryor to do so. He has weapons everywhere. Can his offensive line hold up? That's the next really big question mark for this team. I think this defense will be massively improved, and hopefully we'll be able to make a game, have some more big games for this defense. I'm excited for entering into year 3. I hope you guys are too. We will be starting off season opener versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. So Jaguars is the first opponent. And guys, I hope you're excited to start year 3 in the Houston Texans franchise rebuild. I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. What you guys thought of the preseason? Let me know down below. I'm completely forgot my outro. But guys, I will see you in the next one.